Nestled amidst the breathtaking Himalayan peaks, Pahalgam, a jewel of Kashmir, has long been a sanctuary for nature enthusiasts and seekers of tranquility. Its pristine rivers, lush meadows, and snow-capped mountains have drawn visitors from far and wide, seeking respite from the clamor of everyday life. Yet, on April 22, 2025, this idyllic haven was shattered by a horrific act of violence. A stark reminder that even in the most serene corners of the world, the specter of terrorism can cast a long and menacing shadow. The Pahalgam attack, as it came to be known, was a carefully orchestrated assault on innocent civilians, a calculated act of barbarity aimed at sowing fear and disrupting the fragile peace that had begun to take root in the region. The attack sent shockwaves throughout India and beyond, leaving a trail of devastation and despair in its wake. It served as a chilling reminder of the ever-present threat posed by those who seek to divide and destroy, those who revel in the language of violence and terror. This heinous act was not merely an attack on innocent lives, it was an assault on the very soul of India, a nation striving for progress and harmony. The Pahalgam attack was a tragic testament to the complexities of the region, a stark reminder of the deep-seated divisions and the ongoing struggle for peace and stability. In the aftermath of the attack, the world watched closely, eager to witness India's response. Would it be measured or marked by retribution? Would it succumb to the cycle of violence or seek justice through diplomatic channels? The world held its breath, aware that India's actions would have far-reaching implications, not just for the region, but for the global fight against terrorism. The tranquility of the crisp spring morning was shattered shortly after 10 o'clock, as a group of heavily armed militants descended upon a convoy of tourist vehicles navigating the scenic outskirts of Pahalgam. The attackers, 3 in number, emerged from their hiding place amidst the dense foliage lining the winding mountain road. Armed with automatic weapons and grenades, they unleashed a barrage of gunfire and explosives upon the unsuspecting travelers. Chaos and carnage ensued as the peaceful serenity of the mountainside was replaced by the deafening roar of gunfire and the anguished cries of the wounded. The attack was swift and brutal, leaving no time for the unsuspecting tourists to react. The militants, identified by Indian authorities as 2 Pakistani nationals and 1 local Kashmiri, showed no mercy, spraying the vehicles with bullets and lobbing grenades indiscriminately. When the dust settled, the true extent of the carnage became horrifyingly clear. 25 innocent lives lay scattered amidst the wreckage, their dreams of experiencing the beauty of Kashmir extinguished in a hail of bullets. Among the victims were families on holiday, young couples celebrating their honeymoon, and elderly pilgrims seeking solace in the lap of the Himalayas. A local guide caught in the crossfire also perished, adding to the growing toll of innocent lives lost. The attack sent shockwaves through India, triggering widespread condemnation and outrage. The nation mourned the loss of its citizens, united in grief and demanding swift justice for the perpetrators. The Pahalgam attack was a grim reminder of the human cost of terrorism, the shattered lives and broken families left in its wake. The Pahalgam attack sent shockwaves through India's corridors of power, triggering a swift and resolute response. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, visibly shaken by the audacity of the attack, convened an emergency meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security. The message was clear: India would not be cowed by acts of terror, it would respond decisively and strategically. On the military front, the Indian Army was given complete operational freedom to retaliate against the perpetrators of the attack. Troops were deployed along the line of control, the de facto border dividing Indian and Pakistani-administered Kashmir. Cross-border artillery duels erupted with renewed intensity as India sought to dismantle terrorist infrastructure and launch pads used to stage attacks on Indian soil. In tandem with military action, India unleashed a barrage of diplomatic measures aimed at isolating Pakistan internationally. Visa restrictions were imposed on Pakistani nationals, effectively halting travel between the 2 countries. The historic Atari Wagah border crossing, a symbol of shared heritage and strained relations, was closed indefinitely. India also suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, a vital water-sharing agreement, sending a clear message that Pakistan's support for cross-border terrorism would carry a heavy price. India's diplomatic offensive extended to the international stage, with Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar engaging in a flurry of phone calls with his counterparts across the globe, condemning Pakistan's role in harboring terrorist groups operating from its soil. The international community, while urging restraint, largely expressed support for India's right to defend itself against terrorism. However, the Pahalgam attack had ignited a powder keg in South Asia, pushing India and Pakistan precariously close to the brink of war. Beyond the glare of conventional military deployments and diplomatic pronouncements, a shadow war was also being waged in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack. India's intelligence agencies, led by the Research and Analysis Wing, went into overdrive, working tirelessly to gather actionable intelligence on the perpetrators of the attack and their support networks. Raw operatives, renowned for their ability to operate discreetly in hostile environments, fanned out across the region and beyond. Their mission to track down those responsible for planning and executing the Pahalgam attack and dismantle the terrorist infrastructure that made such an audacious assault possible. The intelligence gathered from these covert operations proved invaluable in guiding India's response, both militarily and diplomatically. As India tightened the noose around terrorist groups operating in Pakistan, there were whispers of surgical strikes being planned against high-value targets. While the Indian government remained tight-lipped about the specifics of these operations, there was a sense that India was prepared to act decisively and with stealth to eliminate threats to its national security. The Pahalgam attack had emboldened India's resolve to take the fight to the enemy, even if it meant venturing into the shadows. The use of covert operations while shrouded in secrecy has become an integral part of India's counterterrorism strategy. These operations, often conducted with surgical precision, aim to eliminate threats with minimal collateral damage. However, they also carry the risk of escalation, as seen in the aftermath of the 2016 Uri attack and the 2019 Pulwama attack, both of which triggered retaliatory strikes by India. As the world watched, the international community responded with a mix of pressure and support. Countries around the globe condemned the attack, offering their condolences and pledging assistance. Diplomatic channels buzzed with activity, as governments sought to balance their own interests with the need to address the crisis. The response was a complex web of political maneuvering, humanitarian concern, and strategic calculations. In the midst of it all, the affected region grappled with the immediate aftermath, trying to find a path forward through the haze of global reactions. In the wake of the Pahalgam attack, the nation was plunged into deep sorrow. Families mourned their loved ones and the collective grief was palpable. Yet, amidst the tears, there emerged a strong resolve. Citizens stood united, determined to support the affected families and to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. The spirit of resilience was unmistakable. The Pahalgam attack served as a stark reminder of the evolving nature of threats facing India. In response, the nation's security doctrine began to adapt. Authorities emphasized the need for intelligence-led operations, increased surveillance, and enhanced coordination among various security agencies. The focus was on preempting threats and neutralizing them before they could cause harm. It was clear that a proactive approach was essential to safeguard the nation. Experts weighed in on the implications of the attack. They highlighted the importance of addressing not just the immediate threat, but also the underlying factors that fuel such violence. Discussions revolved around the need for comprehensive counterterrorism strategies, regional cooperation, and the role of technology in preventing future attacks. The consensus was that vigilance and adaptability were crucial in an ever-changing security landscape. Amidst the turmoil, the quest for lasting peace remained a central aspiration. Efforts to foster dialogue, build trust, and address grievances were seen as vital steps towards achieving a stable and peaceful future. The journey was fraught with challenges, but the hope for a harmonious coexistence continued to inspire many. The enduring belief was that through unity and perseverance, a brighter and more peaceful tomorrow was within reach.